All right, now, pay up or walk away. That may be the only thing some homeowners can do in Florida if Citizens Insurance gets approval for a massive rate hike to cover sinkhole damage. Citizens put in the formal request with the state today, and some say the steep adjustment could turn some neighborhoods into ghost towns. Fox 13's Peter Linton-Smith is with us now in an area known for sinkholes, Pasco County. Peter, for some people, it would be thousands of dollars. I just don't see how people can afford that now.
That's the point, John, and that's part of the problem, especially for folks here in Pasco County. Of course, there are a lot of folks in the western part of Pasco County who rely exclusively on Citizens for Homeowners Insurance because it's the only company writing those policies. The sinkhole policies carried by Citizens are among the highest in the Bay Area in terms of rates. The average sinkhole policy in Pasco is about $1,300. It could top $4,000 if this rate increase goes into effect. Some folks in some neighborhoods say, hey, if you thought the foreclosure crisis was bad, this will be even worse. It could be enough to prompt thousands of people to simply walk away. People who live in the River Crossing subdivision in West Pasco County are lucky so far. The Homeowners Association says the area has survived the worst of the foreclosure crisis. But the neighborhood may not avoid what it calls the Citizens Insurance crisis.
There's going to be a deluge of empty houses in West Pasco, where people just walk away. What can you do?
Alan Schwartz is the HOA president. He's like a lot of his neighbors who has no choice but to buy a Citizens policy.
That is the option. That's it. I mean, there is no option.
Today, the Citizens Board of Governors requested a huge rate hike for policies that include sinkhole coverage, a 400% increase statewide, 200% in Pasco, and a whopping 2,000% in parts of Hillsborough.
You can't justify that to me. That is unconscionable, and that's outrageous.
Sean Shaw is the former Florida insurance consumer advocate. He fears the huge rate increase will be granted.
I think it's probably pretty likely. I mean, Citizens has, their people who I assume have said 400% statewide average is what we need. And I've heard their spokesperson say exactly that. So I assume they have some numbers they think can back that up.
Supporters of insurance reform say sinkhole claims give citizens no choice but to raise rates.
Last year alone, Citizens, and with sinkhole coverage, brought in $32 million in premiums, but paid out almost $300 million in claims.
Critics of the rate increase acknowledge fixing sinkholes is expensive, but sinkhole policies that cost up to 2,000% more could bring a new real estate collapse from which the state of Florida may not recover.
It hurts me being a leader of a community that is in trouble and you can't do anything.
This rate increase request is largely the result of what's known as Senate Bill 408. That bill was designed to try and bring more private competition in the insurance market into Florida, but it also allowed Citizens to increase its rates to what it feels is necessary to cover sinkholes. One of the most vocal advocates of Senate Bill 408 was Governor Rick Scott. This afternoon, he didn't say much about this new rate increase proposal, but he did say in a written statement it was the result of Citizens' rates being kept artificially low. And of course, there are some who say now that the board has unanimously recommended these rates go up, it's almost a done deal. John?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about competition. That's how prices come down. But in this case, where you've got $300 million in claims going out and $32 million coming in, that's unworkable there.
Well, of course, Citizens say that you're exactly right, John, that the numbers simply do not add up. Again, some of the supporters of this also say this is driven largely by fraud. Well, this afternoon, Citizens said that they can't tell how much fraud is actually occurring because it's so difficult to prove.
Yeah, I know. There's a debate about what a depression is and what a sinkhole is. We'll talk more about this. Thank you very much, Peter.